Hello, and welcome to another video. In this video, I'd like to talk about 3 ways that online teaching changed my life. So I've wrote them down, but I'm gonna explain a little bit. So number one, I've learned how to listen better. I think it's one of the most important skill as an online teacher. Uh, I'm sure you think you know how to listen, but actually it's like deeper than this. It's like more complex. It's not that easy. It was just a normal listening, reasoning, and then set it back. But sometimes you need to read between the lines. You really need to understand, like as I say, like between the lines. It's not what the student is saying. It's really what's between the lines. Sometimes and they say something, but it doesn't really mean that. For example, if you have like a student, they don't have much experience about learning a language or anything, and they say, oh, I should need that, I need that, I need that, but they don't really know. They just say that because they think they know. But as I say many times, when you're the teacher, you're the guide, you should know better. You're the teacher. But you have to find the right balance as well, because if someone that like learn like 5 languages and they tell you they know better, it makes sense. But if someone has their first language they're learning, so they probably don't know better, they say, oh, I think that. So you have to assess them. Maybe you do some exercise, something to know better, and you will realize that they say things, but that is not the reality. So as I say many times, you're the teacher, you have to manage, you're the guide here, and you really have to listen better. That's a skill that it's very important. I can't stress it enough. So at first, when I realized that it was something very important, I just like but I watched video on YouTube, like how to listen better, how to become a better teacher. I even bought courses about that, and actually I realized that I wasn't a good listener. I can listen, but I can listen like actively, which is a different skill. So please check that out if you think you're not a good listener, and it will change your journey as it did change mine. Okay. So number two, I'm constantly looking for improvement. So it's about new technology. As I say, like online teaching is something that is evolving quite quickly, and we need to use the technology. Don't feel that you can show a book on the camera like this and make an exercise like this. You have to do it interactive. We become on a technology era, so there is a lot of new tools, a lot of new apps. The future, maybe we're gonna teach in the metaverse, maybe we will teach in VR. I don't know, but you have to check those things out often. You really need to improve it. When I say improvement, also, for example, for me, I'm a French teacher. So I don't know everything about French language, of course, but I always like I question myself all the time when I hear something. I say, oh yeah, I never thought of that. So let me think. And I try to find the rule online. I try to just improve my skills to get a better teacher. As I always say, I don't know everything. To have the right attitude is very important as a teacher. You can give your student a lot of result, but also when you become more experienced and you know more about your language, about the thing that you teach, of course you become a better teacher. Everything is flawless after. It's easy to explain things, but there is always a room for improvement. So you have to be a student for life. I've said that many times and I will keep saying it. For me, it's like just before in my normal life, I never think about like those things. But now as I'm an online teacher, when I face something like that, I always like question myself. That's why it changed my life compared to before I was a teacher. And the last thing I want to talk about is patience, big time. I also thought in the past that I was very patient person, but actually I was really not. But I learned to be, which is very important when you're an online teacher. I never put my feelings involved, no matter what. Sometimes when a student is slow, when you like you review that thing like so many times, and the student don't understand, you try to explain the instruction, they don't listen, and they do something else. You explain again, they don't understand. If you ask, do you understand? Yeah, and then they say something completely wrong. Say no, you don't understand. And sometimes I want to yell, I want to but no, never ever do that. And for quite some time I was upset because of that a few times, but I told myself, okay, and if you teach online to be upset, what's the point? So I say, no, I cannot be upset. I have to understand better. So I try to stay back a little bit and then relax. And okay, I told myself, okay, you're gonna repeat it slowly, speak slowly. You're gonna find a way to explain it. And that's a great tool to be patient and to reassess yourself and say, okay, oh, I'm going to explain that. And when you calm, you always find a way, basically. And okay, so you say, okay, now you didn't get it, so let's try another way to explain. I show things, I show picture, or any tools that come up to mind, I try. And I don't think it happened one time or I could not explain something. Um, so you just have to be really patient. That's a skill that you have to. If you're a person that not patient at all, and you think, oh, the students are stupid or things like this, that's not the right attitude. I don't think you should be a teacher. Um, for me, I used to work with kids back in the day, but I didn't really enjoy it. That's why I decided to just focus on adults. And I've got like a elderly student. Now they are 60 plus years old, 70 plus years old. So you cannot give attitude to them. You have to be patient. Sometimes it's hard. They're a bit slow, but you just have to appreciate the effort because they don't need to work. They don't need to do anything in their life, but they're learning a language, which is not easy for two of my students, that the first language they are learning after 70 plus years old. So I think it's beautiful. I wish I can have that motivation and they show up every week and we work. Sometimes it's hard. I have to repeat and over again. And that's my job. I told them if we learn something and in the next few classes, if the you made a mistake with the thing we've learned already, I just remind them. But if it's a small mistake, I don't say anything. It's okay. We move on, and I take my time to explain things. And as you may know, I always take notes about my students, so I know how to explain. It's like you get experience from students. You're gonna explain that way, they don't gonna understand. But if you explain another way, they're gonna understand. And that's the beauty of it. So that's a few things that you need to consider, and how it changed my life. Because now I'm a patient person. I'm a good listener that I wasn't before, and I understand more. Um, as also know, because I have a life coach certification, and there is one thing that I've learned from that that's very important. When someone want to talk, you just listen and you rephrase what they're saying. You don't need to tell them what to do because they don't gonna do it. And after you just ask question the way they will find answer by themselves. As simple as that. So it's also a skill, but that's something that really used for my teaching. And yeah, I had a great result with that. So yeah, I really improved my patience. I'm a good listener now. So that changed my life, and I'm always thinking about how I can improve my classes, or I can improve the way I teach. And in my daily life, even outside of work, I'm just thinking constantly about that. So it really did change my life. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Just let me know in the comment how teaching changed your life. I'll be very curious to know. I'm sure he had a very positive impact on your life as it did for me. So I wish you to have a fantastic day. Bye bye.